The Yolanda and Cornelius Show, a Christian perspective on hot topics surrounding our community, with emphasis on personal and leadership development. This show is inspiring, informative, and entertaining. You never want to miss it. Now let's see what everyone is yakking about. The Yolanda and Cornelius Show. You may contact us through our website, www.trifoldoutreach.com, or by phone, 800-664-1793.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, or good morning. This is the the Yolanda and Cornelius Show. We have with us our co-host, Miss Yolanda. Are you there?
I am here. Thank you so very much, Pastor Cornelius Hill. We are so excited. We know that this is the time of Valentine's Day coming up, as well as we have a wonderful minister of the gospel that is on the line, and her name is Minister Tanya Davis. Thank you so much for being with us today, Minister Davis.
Thank you guys for having me.
Minister Davis, before you get started, Yolanda, why every time this month we have a broadcast, are you going to bring up Valentine's Day?
I am.
Well,
I don't know why you don't like talking about Valentine's Day.
I didn't say that, but I think you must have got a base somewhere lurking, because you talk about Valentine's Day.
Okay, anyway, it is nothing wrong with Valentine's Day. I don't know why you have such a problem, you and Pastor Glenn, with Valentine's Day.
We do not. Minister Tanya, great to meet you. Your acquaintance, I know, is about to bless not only me, but it's going to bless the international listening audience that we do have. And we just greet you in the joy that Jesus Christ has given us all, including my lovely co-hosts.
Amen.
I stress that.
It's just look in the air. It's look in the air.
It's in the air?
It's in the air. It's just in the air.
Yes. So I want to introduce our special guest today, Minister Tanya Davis. She was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Yay!
All right, yes, Detroit.
I was waiting on that. She's a member of Mount Zion Baptist Church. She has a ministry, From Crack to Christ Ministry. She published a book as well as had a play. She has an awesome testimony of what God has done in her life. She's an entrepreneur, hairstylist, educator, mentor, and also she has a wonderful organization. I believe it's been in existence for a few years now. She has a wonderful organization, Women-who-rock-Nashville. And we're going to learn more about that later in our broadcast. So thank you so much, Minister Davis, and welcome again to the Yolanda and Cornelius.
Minister Davis.
I'm so excited to be here. Yes.
Good. Hey, I think with so many things that God has brought you through, I know you have a lot to share with anyone who asks you about your journey from what you've been through to what God has brought you to.
Yes.
So share with us. Just share with us. First of all, let's go back. Detroit. Let's talk about 6th Mile, 7th Mile, 8th Mile. What part of Detroit?
Yes. Well, actually, from the side, and I was in the hood, in North High School. I went to Cody High, which I thought was like get out of the project and that song, Moving On Up.
Right.
And when I went there, it was 10% black and the rest was white. They used to chase us to the McDonald's, and the rest is history. I think I graduated in 70, and I actually graduated with Cookie, Magic Johnson's wife, today.
Oh, wow. So you have that connection, Cookie.
Yeah, so 1976 was the last biracial, and then 1977 it became all black. It went just that quick. And so, but it was a beautiful school to go to. I enjoyed it, and then I moved to. Well, I had a boyfriend that moved to 6 Mile, so that's when I started seeing 6 Mile, 7 Mile, 8 Mile stuff. Because that's like the middle class for us as African Americans. And then later I moved to Southfield, which was a dream home. You know how when you're younger, you ride by these homes just wishing one day we would have one. Well, I was able to accommodate one of those homes, and that there was like, I thought was the destiny. Actually, GM sent all their laid off workers down here to Nashville to work for the Saturn plant. And at that time, I was doing hair. And so they started flying me into Nashville just to do their hair. And as they would go back to work and people would see the styles, more people wanted appointments. So I told my girlfriend, I said, find me a salon where I can work there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Detroit. And wow, I came down here for twice a week to do hair here, and I fell in love with Nashville. All the myths the North had told me about, the segregation, watch out for the Ku Klux Klan and the whole yard. And actually, I realized that the North is more segregated than us.
Well, yeah, I mean, because of the numbers, urban, y'all are more urban. In the South, you know, we kind of have to grow up together. We've grown up together. Yeah, we've done that for several years. So the assimilation in the South is much more different than it is in the North. So I have to pick with you. You did hair, so hair and Just For Me and perms brought you to the South, huh?
Well, yeah, but let's go back to this point. When I was incarcerated, that's when I picked the fishing company after coming off the prison. And I learned how to cut hair with a toenail clipper in prison.
What?
Yeah, I cut hair with a toenail clipper in prison to the point that they locked us down. I always just, like, you know, and she didn't come back to Wednesday. Of course, locked down the whole thing. Came in and she talked to us.
Yeah, so Minister Tanya,
yes.
You're going in and out on the phone. I'm not sure. Do you have it on speakerphone or are you speaking directly in it?
I didn't have a speakerphone. Okay,
try to speak directly in it and see if it sounds.
Is it better now?
That's much better. Yeah, keep it on. Yeah, while we're doing this phone thing. And yes, while we're talking about and getting our engineering together, this broadcast is brought to you by Forever Zion. So because it is Valentine's Day month and the love month, if you need jewelry, go to foreverzion.com. Foreverzion.com. If you have a female or male, whoever you buying for, children, girls or boys, go to foreverzion.com. That's www.foreverzion.com. If you're looking for those accessories. Also, as we hear, we are excited about Walker's Cafe and Grill. Walker's Cafe and Grill, if you're ever in the Nashville area. So, co-host, where is Walker's Cafe and Grill?
Yes, it is 109 UN Drive, and we're open on Sundays from 12 to 5 p.m. Again, 109 UN Drive, and we're open from 12 to 5 p.m., and we would love to see you then.
Wonderful. And if you want a wonderful worship service, either or, Trifold Outreach on 2nd and 4th Sundays. That's located in Madison, and lovely co-host will give you the address.
49 Dry Creek Road. That would be at the Covenant Center. Again, the Covenant Center, 49 Dry Creek Road, and that is at 7 p.m.
Wonderful. And at the traditional hour, 9:30 Sunday school, 11 o'clock, the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church, 1506 22nd Avenue North, Nashville, Tennessee, 37208 on Sunday and on Tuesday at 6 o'clock for Bible study, Thursday night prayer call. So wonderful worship events and experiences through Trifold Outreach, Dry Creek Road on 2nd and 4th, Ephesian every Sunday. And if you want to eat, go to Walker's Cafe on Sunday. And if you need to be accessorized, Forever Zion, www.foreverzion.com. Well, we have to pay bills, people, so the bills now are paid. Let's get back to this wonderful interview with this lovely lady, preacher, author, playwright, individual, Miss Tanya, Minister Tanya, who has come to Tennessee all the way from the great state of Michigan. Tanya, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
That's much better. I'm grateful. Tanya, now, I don't know how you did what you did, and I barely heard what you said, but you're going to have to repeat that, how you had a situation where you found yourself in Philippi. Since you know the Bible, we'll just say Philippi, in the Philippian experience. Yeah, that's right. And you were able to develop a skill while incarcerated. Take us through that for a minute.
Okay. And so, again, after the smoke cleared, you kind of, you're looking bad already when you come in there. But I saw, the women walking around with makeup, their hair done. And I asked, well, who did your hair? And they said, well, we check out the stove and the curlers. And I did one day and got in the mirror and kind of did something to my hair. Now, before the addiction, of course, I used to go to Miss Peaches to get my hair done. And so I kind of knew a little bit about taking care of myself, but after being in those streets for 9 years, I kind of let things go. But when I was incarcerated, I picked up the curlers. People liked how I did hair. We would watch TV programs to find out what they were wearing on the outside. And they were doing these asymmetric cuts, which were, the straight, tiny things, and then one side cut shorter than the other. And I went in my cell, and I was just trying to figure out, wow, I would love to try cutting on somebody's hair. And I looked over at the toenail clippers, and I got up and I cut my own vein, and it went straight across. And I was like, wow, I can't wait till the inmates wake up the next day and I use them as guinea pigs to cut their hair. Well, I cut so many heads that were walking around. They had assumed, just knew we had scissors on the unit, and they locked us down. Again, I was talking about when the guard that's really nice that kind of listened to us, she came on. She's off the whole weekend, so we were locked down the weekend. When she got back, I convinced her to ask the other guards, can I at least show them what I did? And I did that. And then they encouraged me when I got out of there to get my cosmetology license. Because the list was really long in prison, so it probably would have been about maybe 3 or 4 years. And I didn't want to stay any extra years just to go through the program. And so when I got out, I heeded to the call, and I went to cosmetology, Michigan College of Beauty, which is now Pivot Point.
Amen. So let's go back just a little bit, Minister Davis.
Okay.
You were in federal prison, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and what landed you there, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, of course, I had an addiction, and I did any and everything under the sun. I had about 52 counts. Thanks to credit card checks and you name it, I had done it, to be honest. And so they gave me a 5-year sentence. I ended up doing 2.5 years and paroled out.
Wow. So you had, if I heard you correctly, 52 counts, you got sentenced to 5 years, and you only had to serve half your time.
Yes.
We need to just praise God for that.
Come on now, let's go. Yes!
Because I know with federal time, they don't play.
No, they don't. They don't. They really don't.
You normally have to serve the majority of federal.
Yes.
So God was with you through that whole process. So tell us about from Craig to Christ, because you talked about your addiction. So how long were you in your addiction?
Well, pleasurably for years, but when the addiction took a hold of me and I started living in the streets and, prostituting, being kidnapped, raped, all the lifestyle that goes along with drug addiction that I experienced, that was probably about 9 years. So, that's what, kind of took me down. And, to tell people, I said, it wasn't really the drug that took me out. It was the lifestyle that came with it. Yeah, that lifestyle will make you sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Many people who are celebrating sobriety or recovery say that a lot. That's what I hear a lot. It's like, I'm just tired. Like, I can't do this anymore. I don't have the energy. Even when you are, chemically out of whack, you just don't have the wherewithal to endure it anymore. And I've heard a lot of people say that. It's like, I'm tired. Like, I just can't. My body is telling me enough is enough. So you did reach that point with the addiction that you was like, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah. And it's not that we can't do the addiction part. We're just tired of doing what we have to do to get it.
Okay.
We don't have any money.
Right.
So we're out there again prostituting and, doing any and everything you can think of the drug. And that's what wear you out. And then being treated certain ways, being blamed for things that you really did not do. And, you're tortured. I've had situation where they made me stab myself, and my guy friends, they put lighters in the groin areas and hung them from the ceiling. So you'd be surprised for all we go through. And then the other thing is that we're so far gone that we don't know how to come back. We want to come home. It's like, oh my God, something can rescue me. And that's what happened to me, because when the police came and got me, after violating everything, and then my mom was like, I know where she at. She over here. Please don't get her, type thing. But when they came and got me, I told the police, what took y'all so long? What took y'all so long? Oh my God, I was just ready to be rescued, because we don't see our lives coming back. We don't see, what God can really do at that point. All we see is the bottom. And we really feel like, this is where I'm going to die. We're just waiting to die. Sometimes we try to kill ourselves. And I wasn't even successful with that. That's the funny part about it. Like, I couldn't even do that right, But I know now, which I didn't know then, that God had a plan for my life.
And He does. And I'm grateful that you were rescued. I'm grateful that you are walking in recovery, and celebrate that each and every day. And now you have moved from, that situation to Christ. Let me back up and ask this question. Detroit is a very church town, and you grew up in the era of C.L. Franklin and coming off that cusp. I know you grew up in church somewhere. You had to. You lived in Detroit. Yes. Everybody go to church in Detroit.
Everybody churches, yes. So let me just share this part. What was so ironic is when, I got clean, come home from prison and whole 9 yards, and started going to church with my mom. We were walking to the church, and I stopped in the middle of the street because I recognized the steps. I sat on the same steps where I got saved in my addiction, high out my mind. I would sleep on those steps. I was tired, didn't have nowhere to go. I would crawl up in the corner. And what I did was, as we were walking towards the church, I went around, I went to the corner, because the abandoned building that I was in for years was behind the church. Now, mind you, when I'm high, I didn't even know that was a church, to be honest.
Wow.
I just know I slept on the church several nights, and that was my testimony after joining and having the meeting with the pastor. And that's what he said. He was like, wow. I said, yeah, the abandoned building behind there is where I was. And it's like, I was right there when people were praying for me in the whole 9 yards, because that's where my mom, well, the church I knew my mom went to was St. James Baptist Church. They had moved to there, and I didn't know it. That's how far gone I was. But then also, those were the same steps that God returned me back to after I got clean. And I thought that was amazing, too.
So, Minister Davis, tell us, because I know for everyone, their process is different as far as them going through recovery. We know some people do the 12 steps. Some people don't do any of that. They give their life to Christ. And it seems like for some, that addiction may be where they don't have that desire anymore. But so what all did you do? We heard about you giving your life to Christ. Did you go through some kind of program or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I always say NA saved me and the church raised me up. NA was a great program. I recommend it to anybody. The 12-step program was definitely an eye-opener, and to be able to sit with people who I can identify with, who could identify with me. That, you know, like you when you go into that place, you're saying, nobody has done anything worse than me. And then everybody would say, put a yet on it. Because if you stay out there, you'll all get to that place where you've done it all. But to see, I remember the first time people were coming in from the outside, and we were still in the program from the inside. And I thought they were all, I thought, to be honest, I thought they were all counselors. But they were addicts like me. And so that, when I saw that, I said, oh my God, I can return and be productive and look like them and wear nice clothing and stuff like that. Because when they sat around and started telling me their stories, I'm like, oh, I thought they were counselors. So that was inspiring. That was the first inspiration for me. And then I just worked the 12 steps. I did whatever they said. If they said, look, we go to the bridge and we jump every Friday to stay clean, I would have jumped. I promise you I would have. Because that's how bad I wanted it. Everything they told me to do, don't just make one meeting, make two. I did two. And the reason why we have no excuses is because they'll identify saying, well, you went to how many crack houses in one day? But that's how many meetings you need to make. You know, so if you're out there for the drug and you'll go here, there, for your sobriety, you should be able to go, you know, as many times as you need, and it's not too many. And so that's how they were identified in changing our mindset in the way we think. And it's a great program. And then you get to that step where it says, make amends. Man, I thought that was wonderful. To go back and make amends to people that you have harmed. And some you won't never see, but then you can always go to God and, you know, and ask for forgiveness for whatever you've done to people to harm them, and He will forgive you. And then there'll be some that you'll go through and they'll never forgive you, but you've done your part. And so once you've done it, then you can release yourself from it, whether they accept it or not. So it was a process. It's not like just, it wasn't me going to church, because before the addiction really kicked in, I would come to church, they would lay hands on me, and I would be at the crack house by midnight. They would pray for me, and I would be gone the next day. And so, again, I always share this with people until that person is really sick and tired of being sick and tired. They have to make the decision for themselves, not for others. They can't say, because I can get my baby back. Because if you do look at that, you'll leave your baby again. Or my husband won't divorce me. Well, he's going to divorce you anyway, because you're not doing it for you. Oh, I'm going to do it with my mom because I want to disappoint her. Well, you're going to disappoint her again. Until you do it for you, and only you, is when you can make the step back from your addiction and move on into recovery.
That's great. when we talk about recovery, excuse me, there's a stigma that in addiction. There's a stigma that comes with it. And, Tennessee, I don't know how acquainted you are with what we're doing in Tennessee with the mental health and substance abuse. Mm-hmm. But we are doing a lot in the state. The state is taking a lot of initiatives and moving forward to help remove the stigma, because now it's a public health / mental health concern. What are some of the things now that you're on this side and you're celebrating? What are some of the things we as the body of believers, the church, people of faith can do to help understand and remove and prevent and treat the stigma of recovery?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I celebrate 30 years this year. Thank you.
Hey, we got to get some love. 30 years. Hallelujah.
30 years, yes. That's my birthday right there. Turning 60 and 61 is not it. It's the 30 years clean. Because without the 30, I wouldn't be able to turn 60 and 61. But I think that it's very important to have people, first and foremost, in the program that have been through. Because people don't understand us. And so we as addicts will feel like they're talking to us and at us. At us and not to us. The other thing is, you have an addict in a minute to say, well, have you ever smoked crack? And don't let you say no. Okay.
Right.
Then they'll say, ain't nothing you can tell me then. Because, I believe that because, I have a few friends that have lost their mom, and I will not say anything that would make them feel like they should get over it, because I don't know how that feels. And so I kind of stay away from that, and I say, I'm here for you, blah, blah. But if I've been through something that somebody has been through, then I can definitely share the truth. I can definitely share the wisdom, and I can definitely share what it takes to recover from that drug. Most of the time, I tell family members, stop enabling them. You're not helping. Well, what should I do? Pray. That's it. Turn it over, leave it alone, and your prayer should probably be something like, Lord, can you keep them from harm and danger? Please wrap your loving arms around them to make them feel like they know that they're not alone or something like that. But praying, removing, I have a thing about that, because if they're not ready, they're not going to react to the prayer. Because prayer brings on action, too. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to, act in it, too. For instance, even in healing, you can pray all day long, but if you don't believe in healing, you probably won't get healed. But if you pray healing and you believe healing and you believe you're going to be healed, that mindset will bring on a healing. And so what I say to them is that until they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will really be wasting your time with your child. Especially if you have others, I say continue to focus on the good ones and pray for the bad ones, to be honest. Because all they'll do is keep running in and out, hurting you, hurting others, until they are actually ready.
Chaplain,
Amen.
Co-host, are you there?
Yes, amen. So, Minister Davis, tell us, Women Who Rock Nashville, you have a powerful testimony. You accepted your calling to ministry. How did you come about this Women Who Rock Nashville awesome vision? Tell us, how did the Lord give that to you? And tell us more about that.
Yes, well, actually, I turned 60 last year, and I was sitting on the couch, and I was saying, well, 50, I dropped it like it was hot. I was able to get back up. 60, I don't know, I don't want to embarrass myself. But actually, I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's time to do things more meaningful that can leave a legacy. And what would that be? Well, I'm sitting there watching Black Girls Rock. But as we know, Nashville is very diverse, and I have accumulated a lot of diversity friends. So I didn't want to do just a Black Girls Rock. I wanted to do women. And when I was, sitting there, God gave me that vision and said, Women-who-rock-Nashville. Well, all I did was take that vision and put on Facebook, social media, and say, hey, for my birthday, I want to honor amazing women in the field. So I think I named every field you can think of that we work in, or from cancer survivors to recovery to domestic violence to lupus. I mean, I just named it all. And other people were adding stuff too, like, what about that? What about that? And it started to grow all these legs. And I don't even know, that was not the plan on what it is today. I remember a girl inboxing me saying, are you going to have a band? And I said, yes, ma'am. What about an all-girl band? I was like, wow, that makes sense. So we ended up having an all-girl band, Women Who Rock. And then Tawana Coleman from Channel 5. I was actually at San Quentin Prison with Beauty Behind Bars, and I got the call and said, can I come on her show? When will I be back? I said, I'll be back Monday. I got off the plane and went straight on her show to talk about Women Who Rock. And from that show, reaching out to people, are you going to need volunteers? Of course. So volunteers called, and just people started to say, what can I do? I do this, I do that. I work in production, I do this. I do sales, I do vendors. I mean, it started to grow. And I just thought it was just going to be my birthday party. Then once I got everybody involved, then we built a team. Then the team brought in a choir. And then they said, now we're going to have singers. And I was like, we're going to have singers too. And then, of course, the awards. People nominated amazing women in the community that were doing things with their organizations. And I say it like this. I used to say from hidden figures to high profilers. In layman terms, from the hood to the boardroom, that we honor women of all walks of life. The community started coming on board from the Kurdish, Hispanic, Latino, African American, and Caucasian, and even the LGBT joined us. And this year we got the Muslim community coming on board. So I'm excited. And the thing about it is, I just want to say who's out there listening, is that it's not a religious program. It's not a religious organization. It's an organization that God put together and designed a vision of mine. And he said all women of all walks of life. And one day we all come together, every community, and even communities that's out there listening that have not joined us, let us know. We will invite your community too, because this is one day where all women celebrate each other for the things that they are doing on their jobs, in the street, organizations they have built up, small or large. We are actually honoring a young lady that takes her food stamps and feeds the homeless 365 days a year.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
So tell us,
truly.
Your event is in March, correct?
Yes, it's March 22nd. It's a black tie event. We have red carpet, we have dinner, and an amazing lineup and show, and awarding so many fabulous women in Nashville.
And that's going to be at the Omni Hotel.
Yes, the Omni Hotel, March 22nd. Red carpet is at 4:30, dinner's at 6, and then we just shut it down from 7 to 9. And it's awesome. And we also added a post review to get their reviews from what happened, because last year, oh my God, it was amazing.
So let me ask you, do they still have tickets if someone still wants to purchase tickets to attend?
Yes, we do. And you just go to women-who-rock-nashville.org, and once you click on the website, you'll see purchase tickets. You click that, and it'll take you straight to buying tickets. We call it the Star or the Elite. And then also you still have time to be a vendor. We got about 4 more spots left. And then also you have time, even if you're not coming to the event, we have a product where you can advertise your business or your products and services and put them in the swag bags that these 300 or 400 people will leave with. And then also we put them on the screens and the whole 9 yards.
Amen. So if I'm not mistaken, I think when I was looking, I think y'all had, Vicky Yates, and she'll be there, again this year?
Yes, ma'am. She came back for the second year. And the only reason Tawana's not back with us is because her niece is graduating school, but she already told me it's down for 2021. I'm telling you, this product is so amazing. People enjoyed themselves. You couldn't even tell that there was so many different cultures. There was so many different diversity. There was so many different communities. Nobody acted a certain way towards each other, and that's what I think everybody loved. And so, yes, you still have time to join us. The nominations are over, of course, and we're ready to find out of 85 women who won in each category. We have 12 different categories that we honor people.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website. Y'all have quite a few people on here, I guess, that will be presenting and different pastors. So
let me tell it's amazing. Like Carol Love is on board. Pastor Jones is opening up with a prayer. We got Brenda Haywood. We got David Crabtree, the developer of Green Hills Mall. We have Will Acuff, Corner to Corner, which is a great organization. If you're in business, you need to look them up and get involved with them. They take you from A to Z, helping you for free, okay, to make sure your business is going to run correctly. We have Josh Monday. Man, I call him E.F. Hutton, the man you listen to that's definitely fighting for African Americans to stay on Jefferson Street with their businesses. He has the lab where you can go to and do any type of event there. Also, we have Victor Chapman. You know Victor. He's going to put it down on the ones and twos, but he also is the community leader of bringing jazz to the park, doing the big event on the bridge, and then also the awesome Christmas party on the Jackson boat. And we have Yolanda Adams, District 2. Not Yolanda Adams, Yolanda Hockett ran for District 2 that worked for now Port. And I can go on and on with different people that just come on board and says, hey, I want to be a part of it to help make this product and to continue to give back to the community.
Amen. Well, we thank God for you, your vision, what you're doing. If I'm not mistaken, aren't you taking it to some other cities as well?
Listen to this. We wanted to because I'm telling you, the first one we had, the inaugural, it went through the roof. So it made us feel like we could jump off tall buildings too. So we sent out our sponsorship packages, and everybody, I'm talking about some amazing companies. Well, how long have you been doing it, Tanya? We hadn't done it a year. I wasn't even able to say we did it a year yet. They's like, come back and see us. Come back and see us. But Mercedes stepped out, and they're supporting us. They supported our 501c3 in doing a clothing drive, which was amazing. That was the whole month of January. And they're also giving us their building for tomorrow night to honor all the nominees are being honored tomorrow night for a pre-cocktail event. And then, of course, on March 22nd, it's the entire gala. So what we did was we made it private, and all the people that took part, from the band to the sweepers or any part that you play, we did a free event just to, recognize the work that they came on board and made our product what it is. So we're going to feed them and have a good time tomorrow night, and then the gala on March 22nd.
Amen. Well, look, I know we are past our time, but we thank you so much for coming on to our show. And before we get off the air, we just want you to close us out in prayer, because there may be someone listening that they're dealing with addiction.
Yes.
They don't know how they're going to get through, or there may be a woman who feels hopeless. And sometimes you can look at other women and it may seem like everything is just perfect in their life, and they may feel like, well, you know what, nothing is going right. And so we're going to ask that you would just share some words of hope for them.
Well, Father God, we thank you for this marvelous moment that you give us to understand how precious life is. We thank you for the ministry that Sister Tanya is birthing and bringing to the body of Christ. We know that you're able to do the exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think, according to the power which works within us. Bless our going in, bless our coming out, bless our uprising, bless our down sitting. It's in your marvelous, mighty, majestic name we do pray. Amen.
The Yolanda and Cornelius Show. Please check out our website at www.trifoldoutreach.com. Yolanda and Cornelius are gifted speakers, counselors, and life coaches, and would love to speak at one of your upcoming events. You may reach them by email at trifoldoutreach@yahoo.com or by phone 1-800-664-1793. Remember to do justice, to love kindness, and walk humbly with your God.